Hello, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about the proper way and etiquette on when you are starting to date someone. So this can go, for, well, I'm sure it's probably mostly women that are watching this, but this can, guys can listen in so that they know what, I'm saying, to expect, and what is, the proper etiquette and just the proper way of doing things when you're starting to date someone. So first, when you are starting to date someone, you want to be able to have a conversation. So only texting is a no-no. Actually, your first interaction after meeting the person should be a phone conversation, not really a text, okay? And even if it is a little text conversation here and there within that day or the next day, you should have a conversation on the phone, because sometimes when you're texting, you can't really get a good vibe of how that person is saying whatever it is they're saying, because you don't really have a voice and emotion to put to it. So talking on the phone is very, very important. I know in this day and time, everyone is social media, so they're giving out Snapchats and Instagrams instead of phone numbers. And if they do give out phone numbers, they just want to text. No, we need conversation on the telephone. We need to go back to how it used to be, which is you call the woman up and you have a conversation and you guys get to know each other, and you talk on the phone every day or every other day when you are starting to date each other and getting to know each other. So talking on the phone is something that should be a deal breaker if they don't talk on the phone. It's like, if you can't talk to me on the phone, if you can't call me and you only want to text, then let's just stop this before it even starts, right? Right. Okay. So the next thing I want to talk about is when you should, a guy should be asking you out on a date. So sometimes a guy will ask you out when he meets you. He'll meet you wherever it is, at the store, at a party, at a gathering, wherever it is. He'll ask you out then. But if he doesn't, he should ask you out within the first conversation that you guys have. So I tell people sometimes, maybe the second conversation, because the first conversation you're really getting to know each other and get a feel for each other. And so then the next day that you guys talk to each other, he should be asking you out on a date. If you're talking to someone and you just met them and you guys are talking for weeks and he's never asked you out on a date, that's definitely a red flag. He pretty much wants a pen pal, a text buddy, so that's just a waste of time. I mean, if that's what you want to do, if you don't mind that and you want a text buddy and you're not really trying to, date with intention, then by all means, do you, boo. But if you're trying to date with intention, then he needs to be asking you out within the first day or two of you having a phone conversation. It's very important, okay? Now let's talk about the type of dates that we are going to accept, to go on. So we don't want to do Netflix and chill. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do home visits. I say don't do home visits for at least a good 2 or 3 months, okay? And even then. But yeah, your first date should not be a home visit. You shouldn't be going to his house. He shouldn't be going to your house, and he shouldn't be asking you to come over to anybody else's house. Okay? We need to do dates that are out in public. Now, I'm not saying that he has to take you out on an expensive date, but let's go out in public. I mean, going to the park is cool. Go to the park, and walk around and talk, and I mean, that's a real flirty situation there. You can really get a feel for each other in that setting too, because you're not distracted by having to watch a movie, or going out to eat with the waitress or waiter coming back and forth in between your conversation. But anything that is out in public, so like I said, going to the park, even going to Starbucks, going to the movies, going out to eat, but nothing that consists of being inside of anyone's house. And I say don't do any house visits within 3 months, 2 3 months, 3 months. Go as long as you can, as long as you can go, because you want to set the tone and have them to understand that I am a woman who has boundaries, and I feel that home dates are real personal, and so we don't know this person that we're going out on a date with, even if this is somebody that you knew in high school or wherever, from church or something like that that you knew. We have to set boundaries, and so we want to do things the right way. We want to do things differently than we have done them before if we want to get different results. So no home visits. Nope. Okay. So the next thing we want to talk about is when we are on the date. So when we are on the date, we don't want to be on our phones. It says a lot about a person that is always on their phone. Now, if you have children, I get that you want to have your phone with you. But other than that, you shouldn't really be on your phone, on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, none of that. You need to have your attention with each other, okay? And so if you're on a date with a guy and he is in his phone, I think that would be a red flag. Not even think it is a red flag, because if he can't take the time for an hour or two to have his attention on you, that's going to say a lot about your relationship as you move forward. So yes, when we are on our dates, we want to give the person we're on our date with our undivided attention. So no phones, okay? We don't want to be on our phones, is what I'm saying. No, on our phones, talking to our friends and all that stuff. We won't, no phones. Also, the things that we talk about. Now, I know that, a lot of people have different feelings about things to talk about and what not to talk about. This is a time where you just really get to know each other and take a page out of men's books. Men do not give a lot of information. Women always giving all this information and telling too much too soon, okay? This is surface, okay? This is we're just filling each other out, yes, if they ask, why are you single, we don't need to give a whole story about what the last person did to us, or the person before the last person, the person before that person. Just a simple, things just didn't work out. We were not meant to be, I needed to work on myself. I needed to pay attention to, things that made me be with certain people, that I was with, not paying attention to red flags. I always tell people it's okay to be that type of honest, but not getting into the specifics. So just saying, I was, in a relationship with someone, it didn't work out, I didn't pay attention to red flags that I saw, and so it just didn't work out. Or just being like, it just didn't work out. That wasn't the person for me, and just leaving it at that. We don't need to get into this person cheated on me, this person abused me, that's, right now we're surface, okay? Surface. So, just getting to know what they like, what type of relationship they want to have, because you do want to know that. You do want to find out what it is they are looking for. So if you didn't really have that conversation on the phone, now is a good time to have that conversation on your date, just about, what are you looking for? Okay. So yeah, those are the type of things you want to talk about when you are on your first date. And just in the beginning, just getting a feel for each other, getting to know things about each other, but just not going too deep and telling too much. You don't want to tell too much information, okay? Another thing we want to talk about is at the end of the date. So at the end of the date, I would say no kissing, okay? kissing is so sensual and it's such a beautiful thing, and it can bring up, some feelings. And so we're not trying to go there, so we're not even going to try to tempt ourselves by kissing. So a hug is cool, them walking you to the door and all, but I would say no kissing. No. No kissing. You want to leave something to the imagination, okay? And if you are waiting until you get married, kissing is something that you want to try to hold off on for as long as you can in the dating process. Because like I said, it's such a personal, intimate thing. It can bring up those feelings, because trust me, those feelings are already there for the guy, okay, for sure. So if you kiss him, even if you're like, oh, I'm just going to give a peck, and sometimes that peck turns into tongue, and we don't want that. So I would say no kissing at the end of your date, at least not to maybe the fourth date, okay? So we want to, keep things, just at the level of friend, I like you, but let's hold off on that. Let's see, how things go. We want to see and wait till the time comes when people start to show their true colors. Because then you kiss somebody, then the next time you see them or something, and then they acting a plumb fool, and you're like, I kissed you, because that's intimate. That's intimate. You cannot take that back. Okay, you can't get your time back from going on a date, but the kiss, is. It's just so sensual and intimate. I just feel like you should hold off on that for at least a few dates. So, a lot of people ask about when should I expect the guy to call me back after the first date. Sometimes, the guy may call you that night. Depending if you guys met at your date, then he may say, call me when you get home, and you might have a conversation then. If he picked you up, I would say the next day, he should definitely call you. If he doesn't call you the next day, maybe the day after that. Now, if he doesn't call you 2 days have passed, for me, I feel like that's a no-go, and I'm going to move on. And I'm going to let that go, because, listen, I'm good company. So if you're not calling me within that night, that day, or the day after that day, then you didn't have fun, and that's fine. That's fine, but you can't call me a week later and think I'm going to talk to you. No. So I say at least 2 days after the date. If he doesn't call you that next day and the day after, then just, keep it moving. That was the date. You had fun. It's good to explore and move on. That's why I say no kissing. Okay? Because you don't know these guys' true intentions. And you will be able to tell, once you are on this date and you don't kiss them, and and then they'll say, oh yeah, that's fine, and then in the back of their head they're thinking like, well, I'm not going to be able to do what I want to do with her, so this is it for me. You will find that out, after the date. Okay, so those are the things that you need to focus on and do when you are starting to date someone. Okay, we want to have boundaries. We want to make the man wait, because we don't want to give everything up in one date, or the first few dates, when we're deciding whether or not we want to be in a relationship with this person. So not kissing on the first date, okay? Talking surface, not giving too much information is essential. Take a page out of the guys' books. If you ever pay attention, men usually don't tell a lot about themselves in the beginning, and even as you get into a relationship, sometimes you got to pry it out of them. Okay, so we don't want to do that. Okay, we want to talk on the phone. Okay, no texting buddies. You can't take me out on a date if all we doing is texting. That's enough. Okay, So that's it for this video. If you have any other things that you want to add on, please leave them down below in the comment section and we can talk about that there. Don't forget to rate, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.